to NBCnews.com to find out what you can do. That's Nightly News for this Monday. I'm Tom Yamas, reporting from Kerrville, Texas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
A manhunt is underway for a 22-year-old man wanted in connection to a shooting in Talofofo that left one man dead. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the story coming up.
I'm Nevaeh Anderson, and tonight, while federal funding is drying up for climate and culture, Guam's green growth leaders are finding new ways to stay the course and keep island sustainability moving forward.
And the Trump administration freezes $7 billion in school funds. What it means for the Guam Department of Education with Destiny Cruz Langus. That story is coming right up.
Hafa and good evening, my friends. I'm Jason Salas. This is KUAM News Primetime, and these are tonight's top stories. Well, we begin our broadcast with news that the Guam Police Department has launched a death investigation following a shooting in Talofofo over the weekend. 22-year-old Gavin Kirigua has been wanted for questioning as a person of interest of the incident, as well as several ongoing criminal cases. And as Mitsuki Hirayama now reports, the shooting is raising serious concerns about public safety in the southern village. But the mayor down there assures the community that the area affectionately known as God's country remains safe.
A man is dead after a shooting in Talofofo on Saturday. The victim, who police have yet to identify, was found unmoving and laying outside of a residence here in Ernest P. Santos Street.
The Guam Police Department is searching for 22-year-old Gavin Joshua Kirigua as a person of interest. He's wanted for questioning in connection to the shooting and several ongoing criminal cases, such as an aggravated assault, theft of a motor vehicle, reckless driving, a hit and run, and for confiscated contraband suspected to be ice. A photo of Kirigua on a wanted flyer shows him with long hair, but police say he may have cut his hair since the photo was taken. He has the letters CRIP tattooed on his left fingers, a brass knuckle image on the back of his right hand, and Shay and 187 on his left forearm. GPD says Kirigua is armed and dangerous and warns the community not to approach him. Talofofo Mayor Vicente Tairagui says there were no witnesses to the shooting and that Kirigua allegedly fled before police arrived.
I pray for the family that passed away. Let's pray for him so we could find comfort and peace. I know both family. They're good friends. I talked to them this morning and say be calm and help the investigation, provide more information so we could do whatever investigation we have to do to put him behind bars.
Meantime, the shooting is raising serious concerns about public safety. Here in Talofofo, the police Coben remains closed and units had to respond from the southern precinct in Agate, about a 20-minute drive away from Talofofo.
But response time is expected to improve. The mayor says GPD is planning to break ground sometime next month on a new police station in Talofofo next to the gym.
Talofofo is still safe. Despite that, let's be calm, be collective, be on the lookout. If we see something, say something. The police are there to help us out.
Meantime, Kirigua is known to frequent the villages of Mangilao, Talofofo, Malolo, and Narahan. If you see him or have any information about the shooting, you're asked to call Guam Police or leave an anonymous tip at guamcrimestoppers.com. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Also making island news headlines this evening, with national funding streams drying up under the Big Beautiful Bill, Guam's Green Growth Initiative is doubling down on the need for innovation and regional partnerships with which to make up the difference. Our next report is with Nevaeh Anderson.
From restoring coral reefs to creating recycled plastic furniture, the Guam Green Growth Initiative, or G3, is doing their part to ensure the island's sustainable future. However, sweeping cuts to federal lifelines are presenting challenges.
There is a disruption that has occurred in the national government, and all of us are seeing it in different ways. It is either through the elimination or modification of funding opportunities that once were available.
Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio adding the Department of Interior is even walking back funding for programs they've already approved. with a specific target on anything related to promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Programs that we're supporting, expanding cultural programming have been eliminated. So, we had an approved project that was in the funding stream to expand Chamorro language cultural practitioners, to expand the network of teachers. That has been disapproved by the Department of Interior.
Funding for trades education, environmental justice, and cultural workforce development has also been put on hold or removed from the pipeline in its entirety. But instead of standing still, Dr. Austin Shelton, G3's Steering Committee co-chair, says the initiative is pushing forward, securing new grants from sources still willing to invest in Guam.
We do have a new grant from U.S. U.S. Forest Service funding through the organization KUAM in Hawaii. They've been able to add things like additional funding for the stipends, but the biggest benefit is that our Conservation Corps members, when they finish the 6-month program, are also going to get education stipends so that they'll be able to pay tuition at GCC or UOG and continue to get advanced training in these topics.
And the Navigating Home program under the National Science Foundation is aiding in bringing skilled Chamorros back home for a 1-year paid position in Guam's sustainability workforce.
They gave us a mechanism to facilitate this, which is to give our those with advanced skills a one-way ticket home, and then a 1-year salary in an agency or in at the University of Guam.
Expanding the call beyond our borders, G3 has even assisted the CNMI and Palau in launching their own green growth initiatives, with President Hilda Heine launching another in the Republic of the Marshall Islands. So even as federal support wanes, Guam Green Growth is doing their due diligence, finding new methods of planting roots and proving that resilience, innovation, and community can carry their mission forward. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
News now to report about more funding roadblocks for public schools across the country, including right here at home, because on the heels of an open pathway to access American Rescue Plan funding, the Trump administration in D.C. is now withholding federal funding critical to K-12 programs. Destiny Cruz-Langus explains in this next report.
Nearly $7 billion in federal K-12 education funding already approved by Congress was expected to be distributed by July 1st. But with little explanation, the Trump administration has put that funding on hold, including for the Guam Department of Education. GDOE Superintendent Dr. Kenneth Swanson.
The consolidated grant is not just with us, but nationwide has been withheld indefinitely.
The funding supports critical grant programs across the country. For Guam DOE, Swanson says it averages about $35 million annually.
That's the part of the funding that takes care of after-school programs, intervention programs, the kind of stuff we do a lot of. The funding that's been withheld initially is all the title money, Title I, II, III, and IV, and Title V. That's what is consolidated in our consolidated grant. The difference is we get certain amounts of money for each one, but we can mix and match it inside the grant and use it the way we need to locally. Other states and large school districts can't do that.
And despite that flexibility, Swanson says he may need to modify grant distributions for FY 2024. Thankfully, overlapping funds should cover costs through the upcoming school year.
We would normally this week start using 25 money as well, but that's what's been withheld.
Meanwhile, Swanson also points to the impacts of the recent tax and spending bill signed into law by President Trump and what it could mean for education in the coming years.
What's really going to be impacted by the changes from the White House level and the tax bill is what's going to happen in the 26 school year forward. If it doesn't change, you'll see the bulk of our federal programs, other than special ed and food service, will go away.
Destiny Cruz-Langus, KUAM News.
In other news, in a costly cybersecurity breach, the government of Guam Retirement Fund lost over $309,000 after a hacker successfully gained access through a phishing email message. According to a newly released report by the Office of Public Accountability, a fund staffer unknowingly responded to the fraudulent message during fiscal year 2024, giving hackers access to the fund's login credentials. Now, while the original amount taken was $378,000, the fund was able to recover about $69,000 after alerting its bank and local and federal authorities. Investigators do say the suspicious transactions happened outside normal business hours, even on weekends, which raises questions about oversight and prompting auditors Berger Kammer to recommend stronger security protocols, including not storing login data on computers. Now, despite the breach, auditors still gave the fund a clean bill of health on its financial statements, marking the 19th consecutive year without material weaknesses in internal controls. Financially speaking, the fund ended the year strong with a $507 million jump in its net position, driven largely by investment gains. But the audit did make clear, even strong returns cannot shield the fund from cyber threats without swift and vigilant oversight. Well, we're going to take a quick break, everybody, but please stay tuned because coming up on Prime Time, we're going to give you a look at the new exhibit Inetlun Lalahi, a gathering of men, downtown at the Guam Museum that opened on Saturday. It's good stuff, and we're going to show it to you next.
Guam's beauty is only surpassed by its hospitality. Please help protect it by not bringing any items that can have a harmful impact on the island. Remember, if it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
New training location confirmed. The Mariana Islands. Before and after training, you will identify and sanitize your tactical gear to prevent the spread of invasive species. If it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
Go on a journey to discover true health and wellness. At the Medical City, we bring you expert care, cutting-edge treatments, and personalized wellness programs. From wellness checkups to relaxation retreats, nurture your well-being in a place of healing. Explore the Philippines. Experience the Medical City.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me, count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Anything's possible. I push to the limits. I climb every wall. I keep on believing. Anything's possible.
If there's one thing we've learned, it's never to underestimate the spirit and strength of the people of our island home. Which is why at Bank of Hawaii, you, your dreams, and your possibilities will always have a home. Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Welcome back to Primetime, everybody. A first-of-its-kind exhibit is turning heads and sparking conversation downtown at the Guam Museum, one that places a long-overdue spotlight on the voices, visions, and vulnerability of our island's men through art. Jonah Gacharfers has more on Inetlun Lalahi, a gathering of men.
At the heart of Hagåtña, a new energy fills the Guam Museum Cafe Gallery, one that's raw, reflective, and distinctly male. Inetlun Lalahi, which translates to A Gathering of Men, is Guam's first ever all-male art exhibition.
This particular art show is that we have artworks, a variety of artworks that represent not just the ethnic Chamorro, but also different ethnicities that culminate into what we consider our island culture. So you'll see works that come from just Filipino artists, but those who have their origins in the United States, the mainland to Philippines, to every aspect. We also see artists that are currently living here, born and raised here on Guam, to those who are part of the Guamanian diaspora that have been living out in the mainland for a while. And they've all come together here in this gathering to showcase not just their skills, but also their perspective on what it is to be a Guamanian living on this island or having roots to this island.
The exhibit features over 24 local artists, each contributing pieces that explore identity, culture, faith, masculinity, and memory through their own lived experiences. Artist Gerald Castro is the show curator.
This particular group was assembled first initially with some of the more prominent artists that I know, those who have curated me into their shows. I reached out to them, and then it just kind of grew as I started meeting more and more artists. And I know all these names. I'm very, very familiar with everyone in their work. It's just a matter of making sure that we had all these connections. It quickly grew, so we actually, I feel like we fill up the space quite nicely.
From established names to emerging talent, Anetnan Lalahi captures the diversity of male creativity on Guam and also complements the long-standing Famalawan Art Exhibition, which honors women artists every year. Together, the two shows celebrate the full spectrum of local artistry.
We don't have too many prominent art spaces to showcase work, and this particular group is a very powerful group. The only place they could show is here in the Guam Museum.
The public is invited to experience Anetnan Lalahi now through August 12th during regular museum hours. And for those who walk through the gallery, the invitation is clear. Come not just to view, but to reflect. Jonagan Charfris, KUAM News.
Well, speaking of islands that we love, I want to tell you about Love Island USA because it is the guilty pleasure that's taken over the summer, and it's hotter than ever, and fans simply cannot get enough. Now, Watch Party and Fan Fest is set for July 12th at 11 a.m. at Applebee's, inviting Love Island fanatics to come together, sip, snack, and swoon over their favorite couples. From dramatic recouplings to shocking exits, it's Peacock hit show, and more than just reality TV, it is a full-blown cultural phenomenon.
America has voted.
But it's not voting for a talent show. It's for a romantic roller coaster ride.
And the boy they want you to couple up with is
one that is captivating millions this summer.
Jeremiah.
What? It's genuinely just the ultimate sporting event for anybody that's into reality TV.
The Peacock streaming series brings a group of singles to a lavish villa in Fiji. Coupling up and staying coupled till season's end is the goal, but various challenges, temptations,
it's a match,
and even viewer opinions provide obstacles along the way.
I try to predict who might couple up, who's going to really like each other, how they're going to vibe with each other. And I'm almost always wrong.
Host Ariana Maddox has a ringside seat to the spectacle.
Everyone gets a second chance at love.
I truly think that I have the best job, and it's just a blast.
Love Island watch parties have sprung up in bars and restaurants, like this one recently in Sacramento.
I've never seen so many girls so excited to come together.
I'm ready for the summer of my life.
We're in Fiji.
Do you think someone can really find true love in this kind of situation?
Yeah, I absolutely think that they can. In there, you're forced to kind of really get to know each other, see how that person is in a living together situation right out the gate and know that that's the person for you. So I definitely think it's possible.
Even if not, Love Island fans are enjoying the journey. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view from Leo Palace.
Congratulations to both of you as you embark on your new journey with us. And welcome to the Bank of Guam Familia. Go get him.
Good morning, Kara.
Good night, Kara.
Half a day. I'm Kara, your virtual banker.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place. This crispy chicken is from a taco place? Hey, this crispy chicken's from Taco Bell? The taco place? This chicken is so perfectly crispy with tortilla chip coating. It's from a taco place. What? It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
Things to talk about. Darren Pear's American Ninja. Or he's better at shaking hands than I am too, apparently. But like, he wears Guam literally on his heart and his sleeve, and we are going, Darren, in great directions and everything with Ninja. And you've got some amazing announcements to make about taking kids out to compete, about where Ninja's going on a global scale, and what this means for our island.
Well, yes, there's tons of things going on in the Ninja Warrior sporting world, right? The very first thing we got right now is we're making our second trip back to Taiwan, where last year one of my students in the 15 and under took silver. So this year we're hoping to bring back more medals, myself included. I've been training hard, right? And we're going there at the end of this month. And Taiwan it's just one of those top tier competitions in the Asia Pacific. And it's actually a qualifier for one of the many various premier leagues out there. So we're super excited for this upcoming Taiwan event.
Yeah, the one thing that blew me away too is if you weren't at the micro-regional mall, I mean, I know I did a video on it. It was all over social media, but the Sindalu Ninja Games were held at the mall a few weeks ago and everything. The number of young people that were involved in that, Darren, were so incredible. And I mean, it wasn't just like, okay, like jump around on the obstacle course, have fun and everything. I mean, they were competitive. You could tell it meant a lot to them. The parental support was incredible, and they were really, really into it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, a good handful of them are my personal students, right? Getting out there, very proud of all my students that got out there and showcased on the podium, right? And so to see their training get out there, and then just the natural talent of other athletes who we've never heard of just come up and showcase, right? It just shows you like the natural talent that we have here in Island with some training, right, from myself, and how well we can do, right? We've only been training, like my son, he got first place, and he's only been training with me actively for about 2.5, maybe 3 years. So my other students as well, right? Last year, my student Rai, he got first place. And just to kind of see that rapid increase of talent just to grow, can you imagine what it's gonna be like in 5-6 years with like everyone else when they have that training level just kind of go up?
And one thing that you've really made a positive impact on the sports community is community itself. Because I mean, you know, you can get a lot of kids who have just God-given, you know, ability to run fast, jump high, or really, really strong and everything. You've actually really given them the concept of team.
Yeah. The ninja community is unlike any other sport. You are going head to head with your competitors. But on the course, I always teach my students, right? It's not about beating your competitors. It's about beating the course and overcoming those specific obstacles. So yes, right? Helping them each other kind of build that community, like you said, right? And to grow together.
Can somebody please help me judge this chicken?
Juicy, seasoned.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the hair.
Now, who you think made this? I don't know who cooked it, but they know how to cook.
Boom!
Oh, McDonald's! Yes! Are you serious? You don't like Mickey D's? Okay. Guess what? I got something special for y'all. Double dip! Cause that nods mean people who love McCrispy strips. How you feeling now? Yeah.
Caught in 4K.
McCrispy strips, man, from Mickey D's. They here for it. Bye.
Bye. I wish they could move back home.
Should we build on a honeymoon?
Yes.
Yes!
First Hawaiian Bank knows that family comes first. That's why our bankers work with you to make your what ifs a reality. Personalized service and digital tools, all under one roof when you bank on the best. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Summer's here, Guam. Get ready for sun-soaked days with Kmart. From beach gear to backyard barbecue essentials, Kmart has it all at prices that keep your wallet cool. Stock up on snacks and fun kids activities to keep them entertained. Kmart is Guam's one-stop shop for summer fun. Plus, military and frontline workers save more with our exclusive discounts every day. Shop now for your summer essentials at Kmart, the 24-hour superstore. Summer vibes, Kmart style.
Super speed your life with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet. Get symmetrical upload and download speeds up to 5 gigs. Get started with Fiber 500 at $145 a month, Fiber 1 gig at $215 a month, or Fiber 5 gig at $299 a month. Plus, get 2 SuperPod 6Es with any plan, and a free EcoFlow River 3 and bonus welcome kit with 1 gig and 5 gig plans. Experience tomorrow's islands today with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
In this week's Giving Every Tuesday, a simple act of kindness is turning into a movement of generosity. One backpack, one pencil, one child at a time. As families across Guam get ready for a new school year, GTA is teaming up with nonprofit Manetlu to make sure no child is left behind. The drive is about more than just school supplies, it's about community, culture, and compassion. Michelle Cadahay Perez of GTA says, quote, "We're proud to partner with Manetlu to help ensure every child has the tools they need for a successful school year." Donation bins are now open at GTA locations across the island, ready to collect pencils, folders, scissors, anything to help our kids start school feeling confident and cared for. All items will benefit Manetlu, an organization deeply rooted in the Chamorro value of Anath and Maule, restoring harmony by caring for each other. When a child feels supported, they can achieve anything, and together as a community, we're making that happen. For GTA, it's more than a donation, it's about building a stronger, kinder future for Guam, one student at a time. The drive runs through July 31st, so if you're out shopping, consider dropping off a little something and help a child walk proudly into the school year ready to shine. Support the drive. Drop off new school supplies at any GTA Experience Center now through July 31st.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Okay, lots to see, lots to do, lots to try, lots to have fun, lots of ways to get active this summer. And Uno and Brews is a really, really cool concept that we came up with, right? It debuted last week. There were a pretty good number of people that came out for the crowd over at Carabao Brewing last Thursday. And we want to see this crowd get even bigger because it is so much fun. So make sure to go to our Instagram feed. We did the whole link in bio thing. So you click on that, you register. If you registered last week, don't worry, you're already in the club, right? Register and we will see you down there because it is a lot of fun. Glow and Connect is my friends over at GTA telling the recent graduates from the class of 2025 about what comes next and how to prepare for that in terms of organization, in terms of gear, in terms of mindset, in terms of everything, right? You guys are taking over and GTA is getting you ready for that. So make sure to check out the Glow and Connect Teen Workshop Series. Really, really good work there. And then, all right, strategic planning, something that is absolutely critical if you're in the private sector, government, nonprofit. It doesn't matter, right? Some of us spend a whole lot of money and time, myself included, to learn this. But you know what? My friends over at the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce are doing this for free. This is their July monthly meeting. It's a 101 level about how to do strategic planning. Make sure to check it out. It's at Crown Plaza Resort on the 10th at 8 in the morning. Register at guamwomenschamber.com/events. All right, time for birthdays.
Your 9th birthday is always a very special time, my friends, because that means one more year until you hit double digits. And happy birthday today, because Malia Flores is turning 9 and did turn 9. And to our baby girl, may every moment of your life be as bright as you are. This is coming from a very, very mom, dad, Kainoa, Malia, Kiyoki, and the family who say, please, God bless you on your very special day. That is a wonderful, wonderful shout out. And Malia, we wish you a very beautiful and wonderful happy birthday, number 9. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. All right, everybody, it's all about respect here on the island. Please, thank you so much for watching. But hey, remember, watch after the news, because tonight on American Ninja Warrior, Darren Perez makes his return for the 5th time. He is going to bring it. He is going to conquer the obstacle course. He's going to give it his best shot. All right, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by The Medical City, your trusted partner in health. Hafa everybody, I'm Jason Salas, and welcome to Health, Home, and Lifestyle, where we show you how to live a happy and healthy island life. People, places, events, pro tips, amazing stuff. And you know, July normally means that summer is reaching the halfway point, and that also means that we've got the 4th of July and, of course, Liberation Day for us on Guam. And we're coming to you now from the Micronesia Mall, the parking facility, where over here in Harmon, we've got that 90-foot crane that's showing Old Glory and the Great Seal of Guam. An amazing, amazing, and really, really inspiring thing to see and to really feel as you head through the northern part of the island. So we hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Hafa day, everybody, and welcome to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. All right, I like polls, especially I like surveys. So we're going to ask Gina and Liz. Survey, what is one of your favorite things to do in real estate?
Well, one of the things we asked Chris to join us, because in all our different transactions we do, Chris surveyors play a critical role in our transactions. Most of the time in contracts, they will state that the buyer has to be shown the boundary points as marked by a licensed surveyor. So
see how we're saying surveys and we got into surveyors. That joke went completely got away from me and everything.
It went right. It is
yeah. Well, Chris, we're very, very, very happy to have you here, bro. And happy Liberation to you, and thank you for what you do for the real estate community.
Glad to be here. Happy Liberation.
All right. Okay.
Can I say something before Chris starts, though? I just want to say first, I want to thank Chris. I thanked him earlier because the surveyor guys, they absolutely have no time to eat or sleep or go home and see their families. Right now, they're so overworked. So if you're looking for a surveyor and one of them answers the phone and even has time to talk to you, be grateful, because they're really, really overwhelmed. More jobs than they know what to do with. I just want to let the public be aware of that.
Yeah, well, Chris, we really appreciate you giving us like, 10, 15 minutes of your time, because I know there's not a lot of it and everything. But okay, first question, how many of those cute little discs that you guys have as surveyors do you have like in your possession at all times?
Oh, we have hundreds.
Show them, Chris, the mohon that you use. You can use...
There's an example.
That's one.
There you go.
That's one example.
Right into the concrete, too.
Yeah. I have...
That's an additional cost. Just know. Yeah. It's an additional cost.
This one that we put on a number 4 rebar.
And that's the standard one, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's your standard marker.
Yeah.
And then...
Are they always in yellow? I think yellow's the most common color I've seen, Chris.
Put that one up, Chris. That's a nice one. I haven't seen.
Yeah, this is for naval properties and GovGuam properties. Nice brass disc.
Is it elevated off the ground when you use those brass discs?
No, they're still flush with the ground.
They're still flush.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to add that sometimes when surveyors mark the points, personally, because sometimes time progresses, and once they mark the points, grass grows rather quickly on Guam, and you can't find them probably a month later. So what I've done with some of the properties, not all of them, I take a long rod, a metal rod or a PVC pipe, and have someone pound it so that later I can find it. But I don't, there's certain properties that I'll do it for because a month later when the grass grows, surveyor has to come back and they have to cut the lines again. And it's difficult to find, at least for any layperson.
And it's not free.
Additional cost.
That's
Yes,
right.
it costs addition.
Okay, Chris, before we get into the mechanics of your job and everything, like everybody knows, those little dicks that you use to demarcate property. Are those like, have there ever been situations like, like flooding in the low-lying areas, like extreme weather, wind, what we have here on the island and do they ever become dislodged? Earthquakes or?
Yeah, an extreme flood, yeah. They can be.
Okay, but for the most part, once you guys mount those,
stay
are
in the
good.
ground. They get buried most of the time.
Okay. Now, of course, those are kind of like the end result of a lot of the work that you do. So what is your total scope of work as a surveyor here, like when you're working with Liz and Gina?
So when we're working with Liz and Gina, we do retracement of the boundary that they're selling. If there's a house or structures on the property, we do an as-built of the existing structures, and we show all the setbacks.
What's the difference between a retracement? When you say retracement, what is that one? What's the difference between that and an as-built? If there's, and it's not necessarily just if you have a house, maybe someone has land and they want a retracement. Yeah. So what's the difference between the two?
The retracement is to find the boundary corners and locate all the existing boundary corners and put in whatever is missing. That's the retracement. And then the as-built is to show any existing utilities nearby, houses, structures, anything within that lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and how many?
You need to know your setbacks. If let's say there's a house on the lot, you need to know if your setbacks are conforming.
Now, Chris, because you guys fall under the, I would say, like the larger umbrella profession of, engineering, right? And it would be really, really easy if Guam was like a place like, say, the state of Kansas, where, it's relatively flat all the way across, the entire municipality, and, everything's divided up into these perfect little hectares or, acres and squares and everything. We've got, we've got sea level stuff. We've got mountainous areas. We've got different types of substrate. You've got, red dirt. You've got limestone. We've got sand and everything like that. How challenging or creative do you have to be as technical professionals and everything when you're actually assigning like property that isn't exactly like, like level or not a perfect square?
Well, if it's close to the road, then most of the time, the cost will be relatively the same. But if you have to go through a lot of vegetation just to get to the lot, that can affect cost and the work itself. And other than that, that's about it. It's really
and what about if a property isn't completely like a property isn't completely like developed at that part? What if it's still, like technically like undeveloped land, but like a family, like my family would like to know for purposes of subdivision, where the property that Tata gave me and my cousins and everything, where my plot begins and where my cousins ends.
Well, I could give you an example. We're doing ancestral land that was returned to family, and there was a plan on the access on the master plan developed by government of Guam to put in these access roads, but some of those access roads aren't feasible, or you would have to wait for your neighboring lot to develop their access. So that becomes an issue where hopefully you either wait for them to develop the access or you purchase an access through somebody's property. Mm-hmm. And then if you do that, then you have to not only subdivide your property, you have to subdivide that access that somebody's willing to give you.
Mm-hmm. In all the years that you've been doing this kind of work, has there ever been anything that's like stopped you, dead in your tracks? Like you find a very rare type of I've been working in news long enough where we said there were snails found, or it's like you were mentioning ancestral land. It's
Oh
there
yeah,
are
we've gone through that.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Well,
Yeah.
well, the thing is, they've been protected for such a long period of time, and they breed like crazy. I'm imagining they can't possibly still be endangered.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe there should be another.
we're going off the track here. We're supposed to be talking about survey.
That's not what we meant when we said health, home, and lifestyle. I mean, breeding is a completely different topic.
So Chris, you also do subdivisions, and I'd like for you to explain what is the minimum size lot that you can subdivide, which will not require putting in infrastructure, sidewalks, roads, etc.
5 lots.
5 lots is your
Maximum of 5 lots. And it's called a parceling survey.
And do they have to be half-acre lots?
Well, it depends on what's the zone and where it's located.
So no, they don't have to be half-acre.
No, not necessarily.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So, Chris, I just had someone call me the other day. I think they were subdividing so many lots and wanted me to sell a few of them. And I said, wait a minute, you're subdividing how many lots? So I think they have to backpedal because I told them if they subdivided more than 5 lots, they're going to have to put in the infrastructure, but they were not aware that that would be the case. So now I think they're backpedaling to go back to 5 lots just to make sure. And, they don't have the means to put in the roads and all of that. So it is good for the public to know what the minimum size lots would be.
Yeah.
And Chris, your work is kind of like us being investigative reporters over here at KUM, because very often, like sometimes if you guys actually go out and, again, demarcate like one lot from another one, you may actually uncover, we hear it all the time. There's all of a sudden neighbor A is encroaching on neighbor B's property because their tree overhangs like, technically where the where the limits of the property is and everything like that. So very often you uncover the truth.
Yeah. And also properties encroaching each other.
But Jason, they could do a little bit more than that. They could actually sit with you, like what Liz just explained. Her people are coming up with a plan to move forward. And so when you go meet with the surveyor in advance of sitting with your family to decide what you want to do with your real estate, the surveyor is your best friend because they can save you money. They could also save you time. They could give you advice. Well, if you want to do it that way, it's going to cost you X because the government's going to require be one of your best planners to help you kind of figure out what to do with your real estate. So before the family makes decisions, it's a great idea to go sit with your surveyor if they've got the time and kind of brainstorm with them, share with them what you ultimately at the very end, what you want to do. And they could help you move forward step by step so that you could save some money and maybe even some time.
You know what, boys and girls? Next time you see a surveyor like out in the field and everything, you give them a bottle of water and buy them a cookie because they're working really hard for you and me.
That's
A
right.
dozen.
Okay. There's a thought, Chris. I remember when I became aware of the profession of surveyors when I was like a little kid because I was, we would be riding in the car with, my sister and I and then my two parents, and I'd be like, "Oh, mom, dad, what are those guys doing with those binoculars looking across the street?" It's like, "Oh, those are called surveyors and they look at, like ranges and properties." How has the technology that's evolved over the years and everything allowed you and your colleagues to do your job hopefully in a more efficient manner, get jobs done quicker?
Oh, we got several items that we use. We have LiDAR.
Oh, you guys are using LiDAR.
Yeah, we can use LiDAR for contours. We do photogrammetry with the drones.
Yeah, and you guys have those like those $25,000 those geo mapping drones too that do like the topology and elevation and everything.
They cost more than that.
Oh, more than that? Okay.
And we also can do water surveys, hydrographic surveys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you meant okay, perfect segue, right? Because you talk about like drones and water and everything. How much jurisdiction or is it your jurisdiction like either, because everybody knows that you guys are doing things like at ground level and everything. What about, above ground or, like below the waves and everything like that? How do you guys actually like, map out exactly like where a property begins and ends in that regard?
Well, we don't exactly do the boundaries, but we would take the topography with those items. The boundary is still left to the traditional instruments and GPS.
Okay. Well, Uncle John's never given you guys like some snorkels and everything and says, "Oh, go down to Fish Eye and go map out those things and put those discs over there in PD." That'd be cool.
Oh, we have.
Oh, nice.
Actually, we did the one of the cable landing sites. We had to set the position at where they're going to exit.
Oh, those are important too.
And we just happened to be right on, and at the same time, we caught it on camera coming out of the water or coming through the reef.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Technology has really changed the way they do the work. That's for sure.
But this doesn't mean that you guys are by any means like rushing your jobs now or saying like, what we could get done in, 3 days before, we'll just knock it out in 3 hours. I mean, you guys are still, again, because you guys are engineers, you guys are still very much attention to detail and all about precision and accuracy.
Yeah, still takes a lot of time.
Okay, so ladies, any final questions? This is fantastic. I know there aren't that many of you. Well, actually, let me ask that, Chris. How many surveyors are on Guam actively right now?
Actively, I believe there is 6 active.
Wow. Now I know because I work for the news. So there are fewer professional active surveyors on Guam than there are maintenance staff for the entire Guam Department of Education. Because there's 7 of those guys.
4 or 5 of them are really, truly active. The rest are kind of on that retirement stage.
Well, what kind of educational background or what are the requirements if one would like to, become, like a surveyor and just say like, I'm really good in math. I like to be outside. I like to do work like that. Like, what would they have to do?
You could take some courses, even the engineering courses. They have some courses at GCC right now being taught by our land surveyor Paul Santos. So he's teaching a few courses at GCC.
Very cool. Go take Paul's class, everybody. That's really good stuff there.
Yeah. There's not very many, so the competition is
lots of work to go around.
Yeah, there's so much work to go around.
Too much work. Too much.
That's right.
Hey, but you know what? Many hands makes light work, as the good book says, and everything like that. So if you guys have a love for Guam and you want some really challenging and very rewarding work and everything like that,
but you can make lots of money.
There you go.
There's so much
and
work
there's that.
to do.
Is it what you guys got any openings?
To go around.
You guys got any openings?
We do.
They do.
Okay.
They
Well,
have tons of openings. All the surveyors do.
I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing over here. But but we actually appreciate everything that you do sincerely, Chris. So thank you for joining us today, my friend.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
All right. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Anything's possible.
College is possible. Retirement is possible. Adventure is possible. And so is saving for it all with our Bank Ohana Savings Special. Earn an interest rate of 3.55% for the first 90 days when you deposit $25,000 from another bank into a Bank Ohana Bonus Rate Savings Plus account. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So make your savings goals possible.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Being stationed on Guam, there is much to do on the beautiful island. But before you pack, sanitize any household items and leave any organic materials behind to prevent the introduction of invasive species. If it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
New training location confirmed. The Mariana Islands. Before and after training, you will identify and sanitize your tactical gear to prevent the spread of invasive species. If it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day. I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. Welcoming back Dr. Luan Nguyen. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
You also spoke about stress, which is huge for everyone, I think. Can you suggest some things that men, everyone could incorporate into their lives to manage stress better?
Using technology, there's things like Headspace apps and that can make it more manageable to use on a daily basis. Meditation is definitely underutilized. Maybe not too popular among males, but yoga is a great exercise for meditative and decreasing stress.
Right.
But any sort of movement is going to be helpful for decreasing cortisol as well. Yeah.
Is there still a bit of stigma about men, engaging and taking care of their mental and emotional health?
Yeah, I think for the most part, men tend to bottle up their emotions and maybe not be as open about their emotions or what they're going through. For the most part, I don't think a lot of men have like a serotonin deficiency. Some of it, I would say, is not a true depression. Obviously there's true major depression, but I think a majority of cases are really looking at perspective and also maybe reestablishing their ikigai or their sense of purpose. I think most men just want to contribute to society or be impactful to their family or to people's around them. So kind of either working with a life coach or you just even reestablishing what's your purpose in life and how can you contribute to society, that will help with getting them out of that slump of what am I doing with my life? I feel low.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Maybe the last few things I wanted to mention, I think there's a lot of people with obstructive sleep apnea. Yes. And I mean, like out of the 100 people I've referred for sleep study, like 99 of them, I only had one that did not test positive for sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is typically obstructive sleep apnea is when you're sleeping and you are not getting enough air in your system because of a closure in the air pipe. And symptoms of that might be snoring, stop breathing for a few seconds. And if you answer to that, plus you feel exhausted throughout the day or you don't feel rested, pretty good chance, I would say 99% chance that you do have sleep apnea. And there are some long-term consequences like heart failure because of that. So, or hypertension, obesity, a long string of things can affect that. So taking care of that is, I think, the most impactful thing you could do. And nowadays also that you have wearable techs like the Aura rings and the Apple Watches. If you do see your oxygen saturation dip below 95 or 90%, that's a pretty also good indication that you have sleep apnea. So that's maybe a $300 solution.
And those are fairly accurate.
Yeah, fairly accurate on the O2 sats. So that's kind of one maybe screening test before committing to potentially $1,000 test for a sleep study. And then more of the obscure things on the integrative med side that I look at that's not really talked much about in the allopathic is things like mycotoxins, because we do have a lot of mold in this area of the world, right? So mycotoxins can cause fatigue, parasites can cause fatigue, gut dysbiosis, so imbalances in your gut bacteria. All of those things can cause fatigue, and if you're more in the Chinese traditional medicine side, like deficiencies in your spleen or kidney meridians, those can also be a source of fatigue. So working with an acupuncturist might help with the energy side of things as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
And thank you all. I will see you next time on your weekly renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, the trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram